Is Iran the enemy of Israel in the prophecy of Ezekiel? The question of whether Iran is the enemy of Israel in the prophecy of Ezekiel has captivated theologians, scholars, and prophecy enthusiasts for centuries. As tensions rise in the Middle East, many wonder how these ancient prophecies align with modern geopolitics. Could the enigmatic figures of Gog and Magog in the Bible's book of Ezekiel represent Iran and its allies today? To fully understand the significance of Iran's role in Ezekiel's prophecy, we need to explore the ancient texts, the geopolitical landscape, and the possible connections that have emerged over time. So, let's dive into the heart of this prophetic mystery and explore whether Iran could indeed be part of the end-time enemy of Israel, as foretold in Ezekiel. Ezekiel's prophecy. The Battle of Gog and Magog. In Ezekiel, chapter 38, verses 2-5, the prophet Ezekiel describes a future battle known as the Battle of Gog and Magog. This prophecy speaks of a coalition of nations that will rise up against Israel in the last days. Ezekiel 38, 2-5, specifically names the leader of this coalition as Gog, who is from the land of Magog, along with various allies, including Persia, Cush, and Put. Here's what Ezekiel, chapter 38, verses 2-5 says. Son of man, set your face against Gog, of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Prophesy against him and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against you, Gog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn you around, put hooks in your jaws, and bring you out with your whole army, your horses, your horsemen, fully armed, and a great horde with large and small shields, all of them brandishing their swords. Persia, Cush, and Put will be with them, all with shields and helmets. The land of Magog has long been associated with Russia, and Gog is widely believed to represent a leader or ruler from this northern region. But Persia, which is the ancient name for Iran, stands out. Persia, Iran, is clearly included in this prophecy, along with other nations like Cush, often linked to modern-day Sudan, and Put, which could refer to Libya. Iran's role in Ezekiel's prophecy. While the prophecy of Ezekiel was written thousands of years ago, its relevance today is striking. Iran, as the modern-day successor to the ancient Persian Empire, is explicitly named in Ezekiel, chapter 38. But the question remains, is Iran the enemy of Israel as foretold in this prophecy? At the core of this prophecy is the idea that these nations will come together to attack Israel in the last days. The prophecy paints a picture of a powerful military alliance, formed by nations from the north, like Russia, along with Iran, Persia, Sudan, Cush, Libya, Put, and others. This coalition is seen as a direct threat to Israel's existence, a challenge to its survival in the end times. In recent years, Iran has consistently taken a hostile stance toward Israel, with many of its leaders openly declaring their desire to see Israel destroyed. Iran's support for terrorist groups like Hezbollah and Hamas, both of which target Israel, and its involvement in proxy wars in the region, particularly in Syria, have made it a major adversary in the eyes of the Israeli government. Iran's nuclear ambitions also heighten tensions, as Israel views a nuclear-armed Iran as a direct existential threat. This makes the connection between Persia, Iran, and the prophecy in Ezekiel 38 appear all the more relevant. The idea that Iran would be part of a confederation of nations coming against Israel in the last days aligns with its present-day posture toward Israel. Geopolitical alliances: Iran, Russia, and the Northern Threat. One of the most intriguing aspects of Ezekiel's prophecy is the alliance of nations that will form under the leadership of Gog from Magog. This is where Russia comes into the picture. Many scholars believe that Magog represents Russia due to the historical connections between the people of Magog and the Scythians, an ancient group who lived in the area that is now Russia. In recent years, Russia and Iran have forged a strategic alliance, particularly in their mutual support for the regime of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad in Syria. This alliance has strengthened in the face of opposition from Western nations like the United States and Israel. Both Russia and Iran have collaborated militarily, and this cooperation only reinforces the possibility that Ezekiel's prophecy may be playing out before our eyes. As Ezekiel, chapter 38, verses 15 to 16 says, "You will come from your place in the far north, you and many nations with you, all of them riding on horses, a great horde, a mighty army. You will advance against my people Israel like a cloud that covers the land. In the days to come, Gog, I will bring you against my land, so that the nations may know me when I am proved holy through you before their eyes." The language of this prophecy suggests a massive, coordinated military invasion, and the alliance of Russia and Iran is a critical component of this vision. The question arises, could this coalition of nations led by Gog, Russia, with Persia, Iran, as a key ally, be the exact fulfillment of this prophecy? Why this prophecy is a warning for today, the reality of modern geopolitics, and the alliances that have formed between Iran, Russia, and other nations make Ezekiel's prophecy especially intriguing. The prophecy is not just a foretelling of a distant battle, it is a warning to Israel and to the nations of the world that the day is coming when these powers will align against Israel in a climactic showdown. In the context of today's world, Israel is facing increasing threats from its neighbors, many of whom are supported by Iran. The presence of Iran in this prophetic battle highlights its significant role in the Middle East and its long-standing enmity toward Israel. But as we see in Ezekiel, chapter 38, verses 21 to 23, this battle is not one that will be won by the invaders. "I will summon a sword against Gog on all my mountains," declares the sovereign Lord. "Every man's sword will be against his brother. I will execute judgment on him with plague and bloodshed. I will pour down torrents of rain, hailstones, and burning sulfur on him and on his troops, and on the many nations with him." The prophecy suggests that when these nations come against Israel, God himself will intervene, bringing supernatural judgment upon them. This intervention is seen as a final act of divine justice that will prove God's holiness to the nations of the world. When will this prophecy be fulfilled? Many people ask, when will this battle take place? While no one knows the exact time, the events leading up to it seem to be unfolding. The alliances between Russia, Iran, and other nations like Turkey and Sudan are becoming more apparent. The geopolitical climate, particularly in the Middle East, is volatile, with Israel facing threats from both regional powers and international actors. The rise of Iran, its nuclear ambitions, and its ongoing efforts to influence and destabilize the region all point to the possibility that the fulfillment of Ezekiel's prophecy is drawing closer. As Israel becomes more isolated and surrounded by hostile forces, the stage is being set for the prophetic battle described in Ezekiel, chapters 38 and 39. Conclusion. Is Iran the enemy of Israel in the prophecy of Ezekiel? As we examine the prophecy of Ezekiel and the current geopolitical landscape, it's clear that Iran is playing a significant role in the unfolding of biblical prophecy. The nation of Persia, named specifically in Ezekiel chapter 38, is one of the central players in the prophecy's depiction of the last days invasion of Israel. Iran's current geopolitical stance, its alignment with Russia, and its support of groups that directly oppose Israel make it a prime candidate for fulfilling this role in the prophecy. However, one must also understand that the ultimate fate of this alliance and its attack on Israel is already sealed in Scripture. God will intervene, and Israel will be protected. This battle, when it comes, will not be won by human forces, but by the divine hand of God. As we watch the news unfold and the world's powers align, we can be sure that God's prophecy will come to pass, and Israel will be victorious in the end. But it's essential for believers and non-believers alike to recognize the warning embedded in this prophecy. It's a reminder that God's plan for humanity is unfolding, and the nations of the world must recognize the sovereignty of God. What do you think? Is Iran the enemy of Israel as foretold in Ezekiel? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to continue exploring these prophetic mysteries with us.